Beautiful, isn't it? Yet most axles end up doing stuff like this. There's nothing wrong with this. You're building risk, going back to neutral plus, and minimizing risk. But you're giving up a lot of potential damage by resetting the neutral off most oki or advantage situations. I believe Axel has potent close range offense with and without meter to be able to make the Twitter clips of dreams. And the key is varying your close range offense. Frame traps, high-low mix-ups, strike throw, and stagger pressure. All tools that are used for opening up and conditioning your opponent to let you do big damage. But before we get started, I would like to preface that I'm no expert on Guilty Gear or Axel, and the reason why this video is titled Discussion is because I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on Axel and the situations that are brought up. And even if you don't play Axel, I'd like to hear what your character's options are when faced with this pressure. To begin, let's talk about where the pressure starts. Both of these normals have their pros and cons, with close slash leading to easier frame traps, better JH scenarios on normal block, but it has easy counterplay and FD making JH whiff on some characters, and it doesn't have a mid-screen overhead confirm. It's also -4 on block. 5K on the other hand does not suffer from problems with FD in the corner, but still suffers mid-screen. In the corner, it has fewer Gatling options, but in my opinion, more options for frame trapping against FD and normal blocking. Frame trapping with sweep is a bit more precise, but still doable. You can even wall break with meter off IBFD. All while only being -2 on block. In my opinion, 5K is the better tool. But close slash is still better sometimes because of certain character interactions, and even against other characters, it still varies your pressure to keep your opponent thinking. Now that we're through the opening, let's take a closer look at what to do after we get these normals on block. Starting with the simple stuff, delaying your Gatling on close slash or 5K can catch people mashing. This is very potent in the corner with sweep allowing for full bomber loop conversions without meter. This can help establish stagger pressure with or without 5K or close slash to crank risk and continue pressure. A natural frame trap only available while doing close slash is close slash, far slash, heavy slash, allowing for decent meterless damage with oki or metered wall break. Another basic frame trap is using snail to frame trap jump. This is useful for catching people jumping your rainwater. Off of 5K 2D or 2K 2D, it's very easy, allowing you to catch jumps by just cancelling. But for close slash, far slash, 2H, the same frame trap requires timing. Personally, I like doing double quarter circle backed up with the timing, but if you find this inconsistent, I implore you to try and find your own. I would only go for this option if you have meter so you can afford to be wrong, and to convert off of snail for immense damage if you're right. Alternatively, you can still do rainwater off of ///2H or space 5k 2D because you can 6p almost every IED jump normal for a grounded punish, leaving you +2 on hit. Mashing 2k is fine here because it beats most options, but if your opponent knows the frame data and they have a DP or meter for super, you should probably just block. There's still a lot of nuance in this position, but that in itself is a long rant about character-specific options and multi-level mind games that is outside the scope of this video. In general, I do think this position favors Axel quite a bit. Now we get to the spicy stuff. Instant overhead with JH. Both close slash and 5k can be jump cancelled on block, allowing for a relatively fast overhead that can be converted with meter for big damage in the corner or mid screen. I do this by tapping the dash macro for air dash, and then tapping it again with down for the downward BRC. It's a great tool for making your opponent scared to block low all the time, and even if they do block it, you can use the aforementioned BRC down to make yourself plus. That being said, I would only recommend doing this with meter because you are minus on hit. You can try to JD while falling, but it's very easy for your opponent to react to the hit and mash 6p to counter hit you. The answer to the overhead is 6p for most characters, but by varying your offense, you increase your opponent's mental stack to make sure they're not prepared for any option that you do. If you find your opponent is 6ping your overhead every time, you can delay your JH to catch their 6p. And if they don't swing and block, you can do JD for a true block string that leaves you plus. You can also do this. I don't know if this is practical, but it looks really funny. Some characters have anti-airs that beat Axel's delayed JH and lead to big combos, but this is a bit too far in the mind games for me to cover in this video, and you have to be on a deep level of mix-up against someone to have this come into play. Just know it's an option. Off of close slash, Zato, Mei, and Geo cannot 6p or instant JH because both moves whiff, allowing you to PRC down and punish. This is really bad for these characters, allowing you to always do this option with meter and never be truly punished. Faust and Axel do get counter hit off of close slash JH, but they both have counterplay in the form of FD, so I don't think it matters too much in the end, as long as they know to FD. Even with all the information in this section, there are still a lot of character-specific options that can be broken down upon, and I'm not going to go over those in this video, but I do plan on making another video about specifically JH instant overhead. Lastly, an option that I haven't done extensive testing on, but feel like it'll be very useful if you know a lot of micro interactions, is low profiling moves with 2k. One situation where I found it quite useful is low profiling Soul's 5k if he's trying to get you dashing in to reset your pressure. This lets you get a sweep, which gives you great Oki. All the tools I just listed I believe are honest mix-ups that promote a healthy game plan. This section will be about the Grime. While these options aren't always useful, you can use them as knowledge checks to see if your opponent knows the situations you're going to put them in, and that can really help you in the long run in a set. First, let's talk about close/BRC mix-ups. Theoretically very reactable, but if your opponent doesn't know the normal height of a BRC, you can get this. These give you good reward on hit and don't really put you in that much danger, but if your opponent knows the heights, you don't really get much other than plus frames. Also, the low combo is pretty difficult to hit because you need to do a TK bomber off of a 2K with no buffer. Next is the OTG close slash into 6H meaty. This, while not always a trick, is against people with meter or a DP being very telegraphed. However, the latest possible hit on block will let you beat any move 4 frames or slower with 5K. And if you microdash before the OTG, you get a bomber. Against Jacko, Milia, Nago, Mei, Zato, Ino, Happy Chaos, Hanji, Faust, Axel, Potemkin, Ram, Geo, and Goldloose, this is good when they don't have meter. And just Happy Chaos whenever he has meter. As I said in the intro, I'm no authority on Axel or Guilty Gear, so please leave your feedback, criticism, or new ideas in the comments. I'm open to being wrong about anything in this video. If you're discussing a certain part of the video, a timestamp in your comment would be appreciated. Thank you for watching the video. Have a pleasant day.